This is your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Wednesday, November 20th. Thanks for joining us. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Our top story. Cabinet is to expand the categories of people who can become Barbadians. Word of this from Home Affairs Minister Edmund Hinkson as he addressed a ceremony to formally induct new citizens at the Horatio Cook Auditorium of the National Union of Public Workers today. By January, a new bill to amend the Immigration Act will go before ministers that will bring into law sweeping changes. Minister Hinkson says there will be 7 key changes. Among these, citizenship will be available to a grandchild or a great-grandchild of a Barbadian citizen. Currently, only parents are allowed to grant citizenship by descent to their offspring. Permanent residents may be able to receive citizenship after 3 years ordinary residence in Barbados, or a total of 1,095 days. In addition, spouses and dependents who accompany a CARICOM-skilled national living and working here will be entitled to first become permanent residents and then ultimately citizens by way of time spent in Barbados. Skilled nationals living here for the past 7 years will also be able to apply for permanent residency. Barbadians will have a hand in the final design of the proposed $175 million Hyatt Ziva Resort on Bay Street, the city, and the opportunity to own part of it. This assurance from developer Mark Maloney as he addressed a public presentation at an establishment on Bay Street aimed at sharing information on the preliminary architectural design and to get feedback from interested parties. Maloney made it clear that the project was not yet a done deal and the proposals put forward by Barbadians would be fully considered.
The project does not have planning permission. We're in that process now, and we sought to engage with the public to be able to share and get feedback so that anything that requires a change, not just from our end, but we're sure that planning is here and the regulatory agencies, that they can take into account. But the EIA has been done at a request of the planning department, and we can assure you that all of the consultants that have been engaged to work on each aspect of the EIA are credible, professional, and have the experience to be able to do so. All of the studies have been submitted. They're not public yet because we have not gotten to the stage that we are required to do the town hall meeting. We do understand the process for the town hall meeting where there's a 28-day requirement and all the ads in the paper and all of the studies have to be made public, and that time will come. So please, just wanted to clear the air on those to make sure that it isn't a perception that we have not shared any of the studies, because they're now with town planning and they will be shared with all the agencies through town planning, and then we'll go through that process.
Social activist David Commission outlined 3 major areas of concern regarding the construction of the 18-story building on Bay Street. In a document entitled Questions for the Developers of the Hyatt Hotel, Commission warned of serious implications if the project was not executed.
Is the design of this Hyatt Hotel a design that respects and supports the vernacular architectural styles exhibited in such Bay Street buildings as the Barbados Light and Power Building or the Government Headquarters Building? And if it does not, wouldn't the construction of this Hyatt Hotel as currently designed not constitute a breach of the Physical Development Plan of Barbados? And 2, would it not do severe damage to the unique vernacular architectural style of the Bay Street corridor?
Meanwhile, a businessman who has been dislocated by the plans to construct the luxury hotel on Bay Street vented his frustration last night. Mr. Merchandani, the owner of the liquidation center, which was compulsory acquired by the government and closed on Sunday, demanded answers about compensation for his property.
My business has been taken over without paying a penny. Is that fair? Is that the new policy of the Barbados government? No government has ever done this before. They've taken my property, they've taken my business, they've closed down my business. My stocks are in the business on sale. They've all been locked up and I've been shut out. You think that is fair? Is it fair what you try to achieve? It's a bloody shame. If that is the policy, all investors have to be careful that the government can take it over anybody's property without paying a penny.
In other news this Wednesday, the newly renovated Berinda Cox Fish Market opened at Oistins Christchurch this morning. Maritime Affairs Minister Kirk Humphrey assured that government will continue efforts to revive the fishing industry, and he urged fisherfolk to step up to the challenge. He says if the sector is to be developed, it cannot be business as usual.
We have determined that as we have repaired the market, it is important for us to have a code of conduct in the market so that the way we conduct ourselves as we ply our trade with people must be at the standard that reflects the market itself, so that you must now engage in excellence as ambassadors for the country. Many of you have told me that you are so integral to the tourism industry, and I respect that, but you are integral to Barbados, and you must reflect the values that we wish to reflect, to be reflected in Barbados. So that is one, the code of conduct. Two, I have also said that the security in this market must change, and that as it stands now, people have open access to the market, and while we have an open and honest government, there are some things that you have to close, and the market must close on evenings.
In sports, danger signs for the West Indies ahead of next week's inaugural one-off test against Afghanistan after they suffered a batting failure on the opening day of their lone test match against an Afghanistan Cricket Board 11 today in India. Choosing to bat first, West Indies slumped to 168 all out in their first innings. Experienced opener Craig Brathwaite top scored with 46, while left-hander Shimron Hetmyer showed fluency in an attractive 38. But other than Shea Hope's 26 and wicketkeeper Shea Darwich's 23, no other batsman passed 10. West Indies bowlers hit back by the close of play, reducing the hosts to 49 for 3.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Craft Center. Kick off the weekend this Friday from 4 p.m. to midnight with loads of food, drinks, and entertainment. Get ready for Crop Over with the Rhythm Roots Street Parade. Party like it's Kadooman Day on the street around Pelican Village with costume revelers, music, and more. It's Festive Friday. It's Festive Friday at the Bridgetown Night Market at Pelican Village Center from 4 p.m. to midnight. Admission free.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional news now in Guyana, another supporter of the Alliance for Change has broken ranks with the party. He feels the party has failed to support those that offered their support prior to May 2015. The details from Handel Duncan of HGP TV News.
Owner of the Arakari Resort says Sunurain, who was a strong supporter of the Alliance for Change, has now joined ranks with Change Ghana, which is headed by another former supporter of the AFC, Robert Badal, another businessman. While Sunurain was never a member of the party, he believed in the promises made by the party.
They said they were not going to coalesce, and then they went and coalesced on the basis that they will stand on their principles. They will see to it that their agenda is still going to be implemented. They failed to do that.
He said he has not seen much independence displayed by the FC in the execution of its agenda. According to him, in the last 5 years, he has tried to contact various government ministers and was unsuccessful in doing so. However, the government ministers would have conducted several outreaches where some citizens had the opportunity to interact with them.
And on the international front, the Duke of York says he's stepping back from royal duties because of the Jeffrey Epstein scandal that has become a major disruption to the royal family. Prince Andrew said he had asked the Queen for permission to withdraw for the foreseeable future. The Duke has faced a growing backlash following a BBC interview about his friendship with Epstein, a US financier who took his own life in August while awaiting trial on sex trafficking charges.
I wonder what effect all this has had on your close family. You've got daughters of your own.
It has been what I would describe as a constant sore in the family. We all knew him. And I think that if we have a conversation about it, we're all left with the same thing of what on earth happened? Well, how did he get to where he was? What did he do? How did he do it? And so it's just a constant sort of gnaw. I mean, this first came out in 2011, and it was a surprise to all of us.
And that's news. But for the very latest, visit us at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. And you can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM. I'm Fernella Wedderburn. Good evening.